Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Surya. I hope you have watched my previous videos on the zero, first, second, and third conditionals. If you haven't seen them yet, you will find the links in the description below. So far, we have looked at each conditional separately. The purpose of this video is simple: to make the difference between the first, second, and third conditionals crystal clear. In this short video, you will see how the same situation can completely change in meaning depending on which conditional we use. Let's begin. Before we look at the examples, here is a quick recap of the three conditionals we'll compare today. The first conditional uses if plus present simple in the if clause and will plus base verb in the main clause. We use it for real and possible situations in the future. The second conditional uses if plus past simple in the if clause and would plus base verb in the main clause. This one is for unreal or imaginary situations, things that are not true or unlikely in the present or future. The third conditional uses if plus past perfect in the if clause and would have plus past participle in the main clause. We use it to talk about unreal or imaginary situations in the past, things that didn't actually happen. The main thing to remember is, as the verb tense moves back in time, the situation becomes less real and more imaginary. Let's look at one situation. Ria has a job interview tomorrow. We will see how the meaning changes when we use the first, second, and third conditionals with this same situation. First, look at this sentence. If she prepares well, she will get the job. This is in the first conditional. It's a real and possible situation. It's about the future, and we believe this can really happen. If she prepares well, she'll get the job. In other words, the result depends on what she actually does now. Now, let's look at the second conditional sentence. If she prepared well, she would get the job. This sounds less certain. Maybe she isn't preparing, or we don't believe she'll get the job. It's an imaginary or unlikely situation. We are just imagining what would happen if things were different in the present or future. In this case, by using the past tense prepared, it suggests that she is probably not preparing well in reality. So, we are not talking about a real plan for success. We are talking about a different, imaginary version of reality that isn't true right now. This conditional shows an unreal or hypothetical meaning. Finally, look at the third conditional sentence. If she had prepared well, she would have gotten the job. Here, the interview is already over. She didn't prepare, and she didn't get the job. We are looking back at the past, imagining a different result. If she had prepared well, she would have gotten the job. In reality, she cannot change what happened. The chance is gone, but she can learn from it for the future. So, the third conditional talks about an unreal past and often expresses regret or reflection. Notice the pattern. The further back the tense goes, from present to past perfect, the less real the situation becomes. The first condition is real, the second is imaginary, and the third is regretful or unreal in the past. Let's look at another situation. There is a big sale at the mall today. Starting with the first conditional, we could say, if she goes shopping today, she'll get a discount. This is a real and possible situation. The sale is happening today, and if she decides to go, she will get the discount. So, both the condition and the result are possible in the near future. Now compare that to the second conditional. If she went shopping today, she would get a discount. This one sounds less likely. Maybe we know she's busy at work or just isn't planning to go. We are not talking about a real plan. We are just imagining what would happen if she did go. So, this sentence talks about an unreal or imaginary situation in the present or future. Finally, let's see the third conditional. If she had gone shopping yesterday, she would have gotten a discount. Here, the context has to shift to the past because the sale is already over. She didn't go, and she missed out on the discount. We are now looking back at the past and imagining a different action and a different result. This shows an unreal past situation, something that cannot be changed now. So again, notice how the meaning changes depending on the tense. Let's look at another situation. The school team has an important match tomorrow. We will see how the meaning changes when we use the first, second, and third conditionals. First, the first conditional. If the team practices well today, they will win the match tomorrow. This is a real and possible situation. The match hasn't happened yet, and winning depends on how well they practice today. So, this talks about a likely and a real future possibility. Now, compare that to the second conditional. If the team practiced well, they would win the match. Now, this is less certain. Maybe we see that the players aren't taking practice seriously, or we doubt their chances. That is, we don't think they will win. We are imagining a different reality. We are just imagining what would happen if they put in more effort. This expresses an unreal or hypothetical situation in the present. Finally, look at the third conditional. If the team had practiced well, they would have won the match. Here, the match is already over. They didn't practice enough and they lost. We are now looking back at the past with regret, imagining a different result. What could have happened if they had worked harder? So this shows an unreal past and often expresses regret or reflection. Now that you have seen how the same situation can change across the first, second, and third conditionals, try using these structures to talk about your own life. Think about your real future possibilities, your imaginary present or future situations, and your imaginary or hypothetical past situations, and write your own examples. You can share those examples in the comments below. For more explanations and practice, you can always go back and watch my previous videos on conditional sentences. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments what topics you would like to learn next. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.